Man, I hope Doyle wasn't relying on this.
You guys are
good. Are we on? Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a very special
goes in the play calling, it's going to be very basic and generic. It's really old school football, just one-on-one blocking, a couple passes, and it's a great opportunity for these kids to show what they can do to those college coaches, because I guarantee there's a lot of them watching or here tonight scouting.
Lunsberg back to throw, a little slip screen. Looks like it's complete to Chase Grossfield. Jacob Akudaba of La Habra into the game for the South. Number 22 out of Edison, Dom Lopez. Watch this kid. He is a big-time hitter.
Yeah, we've seen him play a lot this year. He's a heck of an athlete. But Jacob Apodaca, how about the La Habra receiver? Two-time All-Freeway League first team. He's got a 4.3 GPA. Wants to go to college and be a business major. Wants to get a master's in business. So
maybe Ivy League, University of Pennsylvania.
Well, with the 4.3 GPA, that's certainly in the cards. We'll see where he ends up. But good for him getting it done not only in the football field but in the classroom.
2-by-2 formation for the South. Moving the ball nicely. Lunsberg back to throw. A little low throw, but brought in. Going to be a pickup of 3 or 4 yards for the South. Complete to Jonathan Smith Jr. out of Orange, the 6'3", 185-pound wide receiver.
Yeah, that's that guy. He's one of those guys, whenever you're down on the field during pregame, you're kind of looking at the teams and, they pass that eye test. He was one of those guys, had an outstanding career. It was a 4-year varsity starter, 2-time All-League team captain, got himself a reception in the All-Star game.
4-year varsity athlete. That's impressive. You don't see that often. So to the left in the backfield, Owen Smith of El Medina. Looks like a little inside draw play to him, and he's going to get bottled up. Amongst the defenders there for the South, Carson Diavolo of Newport Harbor.
Carson's one of those real physical safety types. He reminds me a lot of a Troy Polamalu, that even though he plays safety, he has no problem coming up in the box. Was one of the top tacklers in the state, and he'll be playing football where next year?
Navy.
That's right.
Acres away. He gets to continue his tradition of being a sailor. Of course, he goes from being a sailor to a midshipman.
Had an opportunity to coach or play with his dad, who was a coach here, but now Dad, after a long career, is going to retire because he wants to watch his son play football. But he was telling us an interesting story about Carson before the game. Newport Harbor and Corona Del Mar are big rivals.
Big, huge rivals.
And Newport lost this year. It's the Battle of the Bay. And Carson was so upset, he literally went from the field and sprinted home in his gear.
Yeah.
No, he said he jogged home, sprinted home in his gear. I don't know how far he lives from the campus, but
Coach said not far, a couple blocks or a block maybe, but the point is that's dedication.
Right. He's upset when you're going home in your gear. So
it's funny because we were talking before the game when we got here a little early. We were talking to Brian Bachler, his son of San Juan Hills, is going to be attending Army. So you have an Army kid on the South and a Navy kid. Braden Bachler, the 6'3", 240-pound tight end out of San Juan Hills.
And Bachler, you remember, he broke his finger at the start of the year. Then he had a partially torn MCL. He missed a lot, but in what limited time he played, he was so impressive. He still made the All-Star game, and a lot of that had to do with how successful he was as a junior. So big shout-out to him, overcoming adversity. And, again, another guy going to a military academy. I love it.
And Mr. Bachler told us that he has family in Illinois listening to the broadcast tonight, so we'd like to say hi to all of them in Illinois. And thank you for tuning in, and we really appreciate it, and hope you're enjoying the game so far.
How about a shout-out? We got 194 people watching live right now, so if you're tuned in, we love it. Feel free to put comments down below. We'll comment on it as we see it. We're glad we got the audio up and running. Let us know how the audio quality is, and we'll make the proper adjustments.
So second quarter begins with the South leading 7-0, but the North really close to scoring as we have flipped the field. North now facing the scoreboard side. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 4 to go. As the refs get ready to wind the clock and start the game back again, we're going to begin the second quarter. So Christian Lunsberg of Canyon still in at quarterback. He has in the backfield with him an eye for Smith, or just single setback. Back set, that is.
Boy, he took a shot as we released that, and that's number 7 for the defense to the
Fernando
South.
Garcia.
Fernando Garcia. Oh, you know him. You interviewed him, right?
Garcia the third.
Well, he is 6'6", 230. He's a dual sport athlete, and again, he's got some colleges looking at him.
Great basketball player, too.
Lane College, Western New Mexico, dual sport guy. In fact, you did an interview with him, and I saw him next to the quarterback. At that time, I didn't realize how tall he was. I'm like, God, they have a short quarterback at Fountain Valley, but it was really Fernando that was just so big.
Fernando is tall and athletic.
In fact, he's the tallest guy out here tonight.
tremendous football player as well as a tremendous basketball player. So 4th and 4, and Coach Feldman of the North is apparently going for it.
He's got an all-star kicker, but I get it. You want to tie the game up.
See if he tries to draw the South offsides here. Lunsberg is taking his time. No, snap to him. Drops back to throw. Steps up in the pocket. Feeling a lot of pressure. Going to run it himself. And the South is going to stop him. Turnover on downs. Nicely done there.
Yeah, it's a nice job by the South stepping up on 4th down. The North had a great drive. Went about 70 yards, but just couldn't finish. Went for it on 4th down, and the South made a play. Good job. So now an opportunity for the South to get the ball back, make some substitutions, and extend their lead.
Okay, so first big challenge of the night. South wins it. So the South is taking over on offense at their own 5-yard line. Got 95 yards to go. Parker Awad into the game, the Edison star.
Boy, you talk about a quarterback who had a phenomenal career at Edison. Threw for over 3,000 yards, 34 touchdowns. But his best stat, completes 70% of his passes. I mean, every time he drops back, I mean, statistically speaking, you should just throw the ball every time because he's going to complete 70% of them.
Direct snap to Awad. He takes it up the middle, design quarterback run. He's going to pick up about 5 or 6 yards. And, you know, you talk about Parker Wad, as cerebral as a quarterback as you'll ever see and as intelligent. He just – it's like having a coach on the field the way he knows the Coach Jeff Grady's offense.
Well, we had Ederson in on our show on Sunset Rewind, and we interviewed it was Ashton Hurley, Carter Hogan's playing, and
Carter Hogan into the game right now.
As a matter of fact. And we asked them, who on your team would make the best head coach in the future? And they all to him said Parker Watt. It was like a no-brainer. I mean, that's the kind of guy he is.
Wasn't
He's not
even
only
close.
a great athlete, but he's a great leader, and his teammates respect him. So that's the ultimate compliment, in my opinion.
I talked with him before the game about his college prospects, and he's still working on some stuff. But I tell you what, he's going to be an asset to whatever college he attends next year. Fumbles the snap, falls on it.
You jinxed him.
I'm sorry about
Probably
that, Parker.
the first fumble of his career, but no. Somebody's going to get him, and they're going to get a steal. I know the knock on him is I think he's only 6 foot, maybe 5'11", but I'm telling you, the guy completes passes. He throws for a lot of yards. He wins. To me, it's a no-brainer. I know they want that 6'4" guy, but you know, just because you're 6'4" doesn't mean you're going to be a quarterback. Give me a winner. Give me a guy who's got all the, the moxie and the wherewithal like Parker does. And like I said, someone's going to get him, and they're going to be happy they did because he's a heck of a football player and really respected and liked by his teammates as well as his coaches.
Listed at 6 foot, 180 pounds. Fakes a handoff to his teammate Carter Hogue. Has nowhere to throw. He's going to run himself. He's going to get enough for a first down. He is, and gets taken out on the south sideline, but pops right back up and runs back to the huddle. My goodness.
See, that's another thing about Parker. He has such great pocket awareness. I mean, he will go through his progressions. Usually at the high school level, they'll look at their first target, maybe their second target, and after that, that's it. He'll go through all of his progressions, and then if he doesn't see anything, he'll just take off in the pocket. And again, it's those little things that are hard to coach, but he has that extra thing that you can't coach it, but when they got it, oh, man, is that a valuable asset to have on your offense.
Hometown hero Cashton Hensham at the bottom of your screen for the South. And Jeremy Hogue gets in on the act. Excuse me, Carter Hogue gets in on the act with the carry.
That's my old teammate from El Toro.
Went old school there. Carter Hogue of Edison, little zone left looked like there, and he was able to pick up, let's call it 5 yards, bring up a 2nd and 5 for the South.
And Carter Hogue, another one of those outstanding Edison ball players, was first team All-Sunset League, team co-MVP. He's going to be playing college ball next year at Arizona Christian University in Phoenix. We saw some pictures of that campus online. It looks like
nice.
A really cool place.
Yeah,
I mean, good
really
for him.
Great school.
That's a
good at track and field as well, right?
That's right. He's a track guy. In fact, he was another guy who came into our studio and we did an interview with.
Fake to Hogue. Ball tipped, intended for 88. Braden Buckler of San Juan Hills, who we talked about earlier, who will be heading to the United States Military Academy. He's going.
So we got to watch the Army-Navy game now, knowing that him and Diavla are going to be battling for 4 years. And don't be surprised if those guys are 4-year starters because, I mean, they're that good of a player. It'll be interesting to see, though, after the military, to what if they go to the branch of the military or what they do because
their trajectory is going to be
I want Carson to be a SEAL. He's that type of guy.
He is. He totally is. Throw intended for Hensham, sailed over his head by Parker Wad. So that's going to bring up a 4th down. And since they're at their own 30, 4th and 5, Coach Lofthouse electing to punt.
So here's one of those rules. Are they allowed to return the punt? I think they've got to catch it and just leave it there.
Special teams.
Because it's just so hard to put. I mean, it's one thing to put in your offense and defense in a few weeks, but to add all the special teams, I understand why the All-Stars limit.
There are 2 deep receivers back.
And it's probably wherever they catch it is where the ball will
be
the
north
spotted.
Right, because obviously if it's where you catch it, you don't want it going over your head and rolling. Snap a little low. Good punt there. It's going to be caught right at the 30-yard line. And that was your guy, Coach Chad Othman, Mr. Coffee.
Yeah, Mr. Coffee.
From Huntington Beach.
So he's the punter from Huntington Beach, and we interviewed him after one of the games this year, and we asked him if he had any weird pregame rituals, and he said the one thing he does before every game, he drinks a cup of black coffee. I mean, that's his thing. And so we asked him if he had his coffee at night. He did, so
he's all ready to go.
To his rituals.
He hit a kick from about 45 or 50 in pregame that still had about 10 extra yards as it went through the uprights. Left-footed kicker as well.
Right. It's good to see him out here because I remember the Edison game this year. Yeah. He got blasted, and they had to cart him off, and it looked like that could have been a season-ending injury, but fortunately he was able to overcome it. Now here he is playing in an all-star game.
So into the game at quarterback is Ryan Beal of Yorba Linda. Fakes a handoff, and it's caught deep. My goodness.
Chase Grossfield, the pride of Los Al.
Chase Grossfield, Griffin pride. Grossfield going at 6'3", 190.
First team All-Sunset League, and he was a guy who played on a team of stars. You think of Nelson and Lemon, both those guys going to SC, and Henderson going to Colorado State. They had so many great players, and he was one of those guys that was a little bit under the radar, but I'll tell you what, you get first team All-Sunset League, you're the real deal. And that's a heck of an honor and something he certainly earned.
Rand Beal underthrew him a little bit there, but he adjusted to it and made a nice catch. So 2nd down and 8 for the North. And it is once again Caleb Marshall from Orange Lutheran.
Well, that's a nice job by Beal, showing his athleticism, throwing on the run, sprinting out to the right, and put the ball right on the money. You see plays like that, and it's no surprise that he was the Crestview League MVP because of plays like that.
Going to spot the ball at the 24 of the South on the right hash. See if Coach Feldman doesn't run something here to the field side.
I don't know if this is much of a spoiler alert, but if you've ever coached against Rick Feldman, he loves his trick plays.
Yes, he does.
I don't know about the near side of the field. Maybe, maybe not, but I guarantee there are going to be some more trick plays coming.
They're in a 2-by-2 set with the tight end and finds Grossfield.
Boy, I'll tell you what, the quarterback, Ryan Beal, did a great job play action. He really sold that. And then you had Grossfield one-on-one on the far side of the field, running a little out, and they turned that into they talk about yards after catch. He did a great job catching the ball and then getting extra yards.
Going to bring up 1st and goal at let's call it the 7 of the South. Bottom of your screen is Owen Smith from El Medina, 5'9", 193-pound wide receiver. Trying to block. Excuse me. No. That was actually J.J. Conrad of Yorba Linda.
How about a shout out to Eric and Jack Cole watching tonight. Eric Cole, we've been coaching flag football together. His daughter Katie and his son Jack is going to be a future Huntington Beach Oiler. He's that big, first grader who's like 6'2", 200 or whatever size.
Father played where? Penn State?
Penn State, yeah. He was an Indy Lion, so he's watching some Orange County football. Of course, he'll be the first.
Galasso going 2 ways, tight end, defensive line, 6'4", 240 pounds. of the Esperanza Aztecs. Got a timeout on the field. 7 minutes, 30 seconds left in the first half.
Let's do some shout-outs. The first one I got to give out is John Hoist, who is kind of the tech guy
John
at Newport
Hoist.
Harbor. He runs TAR TV, and if he doesn't come out with this crew of kids, we're not doing this right now.
This is amazing.
He
setup
set up
we've
all
got
this
here.
equipment. In fact, we had audio problems, which is why we're on a little bit late. He literally had to sprint to his classroom from the top to get a new box
Yeah.
to set it up. I mean, you know, and
He
he's
just made it
apologizing. I'm like, this isn't on you.
This is great.
Yeah, apologizing. I'm like, this isn't on you.
This is great.
Yeah, if
He's
he's
got
not here with those kids, we're not doing this.
He's got a great crew here, a great setup, beautiful Newport Beach, California. I mean, they do an amazing job.
And then how about JP West Media? Go to this guy's website.
yeah.
So he was at all the practices. And, there's a weird little Billy Idol in the background.
Billy Idol rocking out. All right.
He did a really good job taking photos of all these kids. He did a really good job. You know, go to the practices, videoing the kids, and it's good stuff. I was impressed.
Besides his wonderful photography, he does just amazing graphic design work.
Yep.
So back to the action, 3rd down and 5. 5 to get in the end zone for the North team. Back to pass, has a man deep in the corner. Is he in bounds? Referee says he's out of bounds. So going to bring up 4th down and goal to go for the North. Will Feldman be kicking this time or not?
Wow, that was a nice corner route by Jonathan Smith, Jr. from Orange. And
Beal led him perfectly, too.
Yeah, put the ball right in the money. Just missed it. I don't know if he was out of bounds or dropped it, but a great throw and just mistimed this ball game up.
Look who's into the game for the South. Your guy, Jackson Irwin, Mr. Everything.
Okay.
Wearing number 18.
You know, we did a game this year where he blocked a punt, he blocked a kick, he caught 3 touchdowns. He had that's how he earned the title, Mr. Everything.
Mr. Everything.
I mean, he literally did everything. And, you know, of course, he's a co-MVP of the league. In fact, let me find him on he was the Sunset League Defensive Lineman of the Year, Mr. Everything. And that was a well-earned title. Yeah, 100%.
Timeout, North. Yeah, Jackson Irwin, he came running on the field. I'm like, uh-oh, it's Mr. Everything. 6'3", 205, pride of the Edison Chargers. So, fun game so far. Great to see everybody getting in. And
good crowd tonight. The far end is it's packed literally from end to end. We pulled up about 2 hours before the game.
We had a
and
good
there was
tailgate
about
going on.
4 legitimate tailgates going on. I mean, you had like all day. I mean, you would have thought I was at a UCLA game in terms of all the smell of the food. The fans were fired up. You had all the schools really representing.
There's nothing better than a tailgate at a football game, be it high school, college,
That's what makes
NFL.
football so great is the tailgating.
Yeah.
By the way, this game's been played since 1959. In fact, if you're 63 years old or younger, this game's been going on longer than you've been alive.
Yes.
And just to give you a little historical perspective, the president.
So, yeah, that would have made my dad like 16, something like that.
Yeah. That's how long ago it was.
So back to the action, 7:25 remaining in the first half, 4th down and goal to go. 7-0 South leading it. North is electing to go for it again on 4th down, not kicking. So Beal's going to run himself. Oh, he gets tackled. Great play there by Owen Burnside, the Tesoro defensive end, 6'2", 212.
You know, that's unfortunate for the North. That's twice now. They've had really good drives, gotten into the red zone, but just couldn't finish. You know, twice they could have settled for field goals and been down 1, but I like the aggressive play calling. But again, nice job by the South. They bent, but they didn't break. And that's one of those things as a defensive coordinator, when you game plan for someone like him, you got to account for the running game, and that just kind of takes one defender away, because if you just drop back and cover, he's going to burn you on the ground.
Into the game is Corey C.J. Bazuzzi from Aliso Nagel playing tight end, wearing number 34 for the South. 6'2", 220 pounds. In the 3-by-1 formation with the tight end, little handoff. Nice little run there by Christian Garasasio from Dana Hills, the 6'1", 200-pound running back. Pride of the Dolphins.
Yeah, well, you are the pride of the Dolphins when you run for 1,900 yards. In fact, he had 9 games with over 100 yards rushing.
Wow.
I mean, that's why he was the Pacific Coast League MVP. He was actually first team all-league as an outside linebacker, so that's a guy who can get it done on both sides of the ball.
That's the Garasio's the gentleman that Taryn Rodriguez interviewed the other day.
That's right. In fact, if you go to his Instagram page, you can find, in fact, Taryn did a lot of great interviews of these players in the game. If you go to the Sunset Rewind page or Instagram, you can see what they had to say about the upcoming game. It's actually being played right now.
Kukoc takes a snap. Little give, handoff there. Not much real estate acquired there. Kind of bottled up Garasio there.
But it was enough to get him a first down, so that, he's one of those guys. He's not just got speed and quickness.
Battering ram.
That's right. If it's 3rd and short, he's the guy you give it to because he's going to get you those tough yards.
So brings up a first down 10. Ball spotted at the 34 of the South. Kukoc, little toss right. Oh, fake play. Here it comes. We have Cash and Hensham wide open. Doesn't look like anybody's going to get Hensham. Touchdown, South. Kukoc, toss right to Garasio. Garasio finds Hensham wide open with nothing but green in front of him. 66 yards later, pay dirt, South.
Well, clearly he's got an arm on him, too. We talk about how good he is as a running back, but, yeah, what a great target. Cash Money Hensham, one of the outstanding Orange County receivers. In fact, he was the CIF Player of the Year as a junior, Sunset League Receiver of the Year, had a phenomenal career. The defense doesn't really have time to gel as a unit, and, boy, they burned him. Nice call by the North.
And Garasio sold that well. I mean, he looked like he was running all the way, then he plants the right foot and throws a perfect strike right to Hensham.
Well, if you think about it, when you got a running back who's rushed for as many yards as he has, when he gets the ball, you've got to honor the run, right? So, I mean, everybody's coming up to play the run, and now you've got a wide receiver of Hensham's quality wide open. I mean, that's just free money. Great call, great play design.
So, point after attempt is good. It is 14-0 South. And how incredible is that for Cash and Hensham to get a touchdown at his home stadium in an All-Star game? That's got to be awesome.
Well, for a lot of the guys, this is the last time they're ever going to play football. Some will go on to college. A couple might even be pro. But for a lot of these guys, this is it. So that one last time to put the pads on, to actually be hitting somebody legally and not get in trouble for it, it's a special moment. And you're right. This is his home stadium. This is his last game, at least as a high school player. That is a special moment.
He has some great memories at this stadium, and he just added another one to those great memories. So North takes over at the 30. Oh, going from pay dirt. Intercepted. That's going to be picked off by Garrett Emerson of Newport Harbor, another local hero. He's still going. There you go. The Newport Harbor guys stepping. The North, Parker Wad backing at quarterback for the South. Looked like a little draw play there. Going to Eddie Rodriguez, Adam Harper of Northwood, the 5'11", 195-pound running back for the Timberwolves.
And Harper, I still, when I look at his stats, 2,000 yards rushing. I mean, that is just, you talk about feeding the rock to a beast.
Down at the bottom of your screen, Cash and Hensham, Newport Harbor. You have Dane Benedict's in from Capo Valley at receiver as well. Vandermeer from Huntington Beach. Little slip screen there. Looks like we might have a hold. Also into the game for the South is Riley Weinstein, the Costa Mesa wide receiver. Coach, is that accurate about Weinstein?
What's that?
6'9", 215 pounds.
I saw that, and yeah, that's
wow.
You think he plays basketball or volleyball because he certainly has the measurements for it.
Look at him up there at the top of your screen, folks. Number 19.
That's one of those guys, when you get into the red zone, you simply just throw a fade to him, and if he's got any kind of vert, there's just no way to stop him.
Just let him go up and
do his thing.
Out jump the DB. If he's 6'9" and you got a 5'8" DB, oh my gosh. It looks like two-by-two formation again. Awad checks with Coach Lofthouse to see what the call is. Awad drops back. He's going for money. Cashton Hensham, second touchdown and 2 drives. Wow.
You know, the great players just make it look so easy. A wild drop back, calm, cool, and collected. Hingham just got that separation. I mean, that almost looked like pregame warm-up.
Yeah, he split the corner and the safety there. Nobody really picked him up on that little post route. Hingham, both touchdowns, just wide open.
You know, coming in this game, the South is on a little bit of a winning streak. They've won 7 in a row. In fact, they've won 12 of the last 13. And, you know, on paper, it looked like they had the personnel to be the favorite in this game. They're certainly not disappointing, living up to the hype because
is good. 21-0 South. 3:51 remaining in the first half of the 63rd annual Orange County All-Star Game, North-South All-Star Game, brought to you by the Costa Mesa United and the Los Angeles Chargers. How about a shout-out to Tom Telasco, general manager of the Chargers, all the stuff he's done for this community.
So if you don't know the story of the North-South All-Star Game, back in 2016, it was going to come to an end. Forever, the Brea Lions Club were the sponsors of it.
Yes.
They just didn't have the financial
They did a great
wherewithal
job
to do it. And then Costa Mesa United, which is a nonprofit organization in Newport Mesa, they fund sports and organizations that can't fund themselves, partnered up with the Chargers. And, you know, things like this aren't cheap. You've got the stadium, insurance for the players, uniform, security. And those are just things I'm naming off the top of my head.
It's an event.
Them and the Chargers have really done a good job saving this game and allowing us to watch it right now.
Ryan Beal of Yorba Linda back in at quarterback, able to evade a tackler there. Gets some nice little yardage there with a little screen to William Saucedo II, his teammate at Yorba Linda.
And, you know, I got to be honest, I've never been much of a Charger fan, but what they've been doing for the L.A. community since they've moved here,
pretty impressive.
They're winning me over.
Yeah.
They have a Coach of the Week award where they offer that team $1,000 for equipment, gear, whatever. They have a Coach of the Year. They're helping fund this North-South All-Star Game.
Rick Feldman was actually the Coach of the Year for
That's
the Chargers
right,
this year, and he was a Coach of the Week recipient as well.
Correct. But, I mean, the fact that San Diego is doing all they can to reach out to the community, give back to the community, it's becoming much easier to cheer for these guys just because they're doing those things. Did I say San Diego? You're laughing, you wrote down LA. I'm old school, man. It's still the Oakland Raiders. All right, my bad.
Right.
The LA champs. Talking about how good they are for the community.
Beal rolls out, and he is tracked down from behind by Jacob Bauer of Santa Margarita Catholic, the 6'205" linebacker. Showed some speed there, Coach. Wow.
Yeah, first team All Trinity League.
Yeah.
You know that's the real deal when you're first team All Trinity League. First team All CIF, defensive MVP. Led the team in tackles. You just found out why. Boy, he's fast. He came off that edge and just.
Holy cow. Beal had no life.
Yeah, so Mr. Telasco, it is the LA Chargers. I apologize. That's just one of those things. I'm like, what are you writing down? I'm trying to think right now. And then I see LA.
This game has some players of notoriety, you know, not just in Orange County as all-stars, but you know who else is in this game on the South roster? Number 44, Brady Sarkeesian. Does that name sound familiar?
Oh, yeah, yep. Especially if you're a Longhorn fan.
Ryan Nielsen of Corona Del Mar there to make a tackle. The 6', 180-pound Sea King. Of course, this is Corona Del Mar's home stadium as well.
Right. Nielsen had a nice career with Coach O'Shea. Now Coach Hedig of CDM.
Coach Hedig.
You know, Ryan was first team All Sunset League, second team All County. So
got to say hi to Coach O'Shea and congratulate him on a great career at CDM, as well as getting the St. Margaret's coaching job. He's gonna build them into a powerhouse, and
that was a nice move for him. You know,
he's
done his thing
great
at CDM,
move for him.
did all he could do, really.
Yeah.
And so it made a lot of sense.
He's had a CIF title, a state title, 3 appearances in the CIF title game.
No, he had a heck of a career. You know, since we're on the Newport theme, how about I want to give another shout out to Kinley Hatfield and Michaela Merrick. They're cheerleaders for Newport Beach. They're probably going to come to Newport Harbor in a couple years. They're part of that Pop Warner program they got going on.
Our old buddy Ryan Merrick.
They're watching, so, you know, you got young cheerleaders watching the game. That's pretty cool. So we got some fans out there. So thank you, girls, for watching, and props to you.
Going to bring up a 4th down punting situation for the North. The ball is going to be fielded at the 36 of the South. So, 2:32 left in the half, Coach. Does the South have enough time to strike again?
100%. I mean, you're down 21. You're not going to sit on the ball. You got
Ball spot at the
All-star
37.
quality receivers, all-star quality quarterbacks. Why not throw down the field and see if you can pick up some yards and get on the scoreboard?
Look who's in the game, Coach. Josh Favonia from El Toro.
Oh, yes.
Hey, how about that?
Of course, I played with his dad, Jason Favonia,
Yes.
one of the legendary El Toro receivers. His son,
Number
an
2 at the
all-league
bottom
player.
of your screen right here is Josh Favonia of El Toro, the pride of the Chargers,
Just seeing that El Toro helmet brings back so many memories.
doesn't it? And Kukoc is going to get picked by North defender. Jumped
Nate
the route. Nate
Snyder.
Snyder of Cyprus.
That's our guy.
Snyder, the 5'7", 195-pound running back / linebacker.
No, Nate did a great
Nate
job.
Snyder read
dropping
that.
in the flat,
Wow.
jumped the route, and Nate wants to be a firefighter someday.
Yeah.
In fact, after high school, he wants to join the fire academy. So, nice job, Nate. Congratulations. Also a first-team All-Empire League player, and
And another part of the Brito legacy.
there's a lot of those guys out
Yeah.
there. That's more of a Cyprus thing, but if you're from Cyprus, you definitely know one of the burritos.
I talked with Nate Snyder's father last week at the banquet. He is a teacher at Mayfair High School in Lakewood. Arthur Tyler McCowan from Servite into the game. Got kind of a rotating quarterback situation going on here. So Christian Lunsberg from Canyon is back into the game for the North.
Yeah, and again, this isn't a depth chart in the way that we're used to it, where you have, your starters.
Right.
Your back. I mean, they're going to rotate all these guys. There's no real depth chart in the traditional sense. So this is about getting as many guys in and getting them as
And
many
that's what's
reps
so great
and
about
touch.
this All-Star game.
Exactly.
You want to see everybody play.
And by the way, shout out to DeMarco Love, who made that play on the bottom of the screen, just on that one-on-one coverage from Tesoro.
Rolling to his right. Nice pass in the end zone. It's caught. No signal yet. Touchdown. Nice job. Lunsberg of Canyon to Apodaca of La Habra. And the North is on the board with 1:42 left in the first half. That was a quick strike. I mean, 2:32 is when the South took over.
Well,
so
what did we
50
talk
seconds.
about? Big plays and turnovers. And what has this game been decided by? Big plays,
Big plays
which
and
I guess Trick
turnovers.
would be one. And then the turnover by Nate Snyder set that touchdown up to Apodaca, one of the proud Highlanders representing tonight.
Matthias Brown on for Sunny Hills, the 6'1", 195 kicker and punter. He's a great soccer
that guy-
player, too.
Well, that's just it. And he might play college ball either in football or soccer.
Or both.
Either, yeah, and he could do both. We saw him warming up, and I mean, he was splitting that thing down the middle from 40 yards out consistently. He's got a heck of a foot on him.
So, minute 42 left in the first half. South 21, North 7. So Kukoc remains in at quarterback, the Capistrano Valley product. Livonia at the bottom of your screen for the South. Kukoc takes a snap, fakes the handoff and pulls it. Nice RPO by the Capistrano Valley quarterback.
Boy, Michael Hughes from Santa Ana bit on that run.
Wow.
He absolutely wiped out the running back, but you're right, the quarterback did a good job seeing that, pulling it, and getting some positive yards.
Ball spotted at the 44 of the South. Going to bring up second down and 4. Excuse me, 36 there. A little screen play. It's defended well, batted down. Michael Hughes getting in the action there, the 6'3", 215 defensive end.
Yeah, the Santa Ana Saint did a good job getting his hands up.
Pride of the
and,
Saints.
As a defender, when it's a pass, you want to rush the quarterback, but once that ball's released, get those arms up, and you can get a deflection.
Retrace your steps, right, Coach?
100%.
2-by-2 formation for the South. Vander made motions to the left side, checking into a 3-by-1 formation. Your lone receiver down at the bottom of your screen, Newport Harbor, Cash and Hensham.
Well, look at that backside post.
Oh, yeah. There it is. Went to Hensham. that
You know,
backside
one of the
post you're talking
advantages of burning a defense deep is you force those corners and safeties to back up when they know you got that speed. So when you do that, you can really tear a defense apart by just throwing those underneath routes, which is exactly what they did right there. A simple 5-yard out to hinge him. He was getting way too much cushion from the cornerback. So if they're going to play that far off, I'm going to take everything underneath all day long.
Weinstein, Benedicts, Vandermeide, Henjum, your 4 receivers. In your backfield, Garasio of Dana Hills again. Handoff give to him from Kukoc, but the North is having none of that. Nicely bottled up by Ethan Carpentier of Foothill, the 6-foot, 205-pound linebacker.
The North has some outstanding linebackers, and he's one of them. A 2-time All-Crestview League player, team captain, second-team All-County, third in California in tackles. When you're when you're number 3, and this is according to Max Preps in tackles, you know you've got an active defender.
Kukoc out of the pistol formation. He's going deep again for Henjum. Henjum brings it in, but is he inbounds? Out of bounds, but Henjum still caught that. I mean, well defended. I got to give credit to
well, that's a nice job by Jalen Love. Yeah, he came out from the safety and broke that out. I wonder if there's any relation to Gordon. But regardless, Jalen, the safety, came over and broke that up the last minute. Yeah, outstanding player. First on the team in tackles, total, solo. First on team interceptions with 5. And he wants to go to college and become a veterinarian.
I'm just impressed that, I mean, that's a great play by Lightfoot, but you're going 70 singer-songwriters on us?
You never know, man.
We going to Cat Stevens next?
It's possible. Is there a kid out here named Stevens?
3rd down and 10 for the South.
There's a little more on the line, but until they're able to figure out the whole, financial situation. So they canceled it for 1 year. It was shut down by the NC2A back in 1962.
Wow, interesting story there. That's interesting how that happened. And hey, Mr. Coffee, just with the punt, Jed Othman, number 29, Huntington Beach Oiler. Ball's going to be spotted at the 23 of the North. All right. 7 seconds left in the half. All right, Coach Feldman. Trick play coming up.
Well, I'd be really disappointed if they bid on it. I'm certainly going to tell my defense to stand back. Don't worry about the run. But what the heck? It's an all-star game. You got nothing to lose.
Right.
As long as they don't run what the Cowboys tried to run in their last playoff game against the Niners, because that was just awful. And they're not in that formation, so far so good.
Looks like they're lined up in a 2-by-2 formation with the tight end down on the right side. Direct snap, take a knee, go to halftime. 63rd annual North-South Orange County All-Star Game Classic. 21-7 at the halftime. The South leads. Enjoy the halftime activities.
Don't worry about it. If you don't have it queued, don't worry. Are we off audio-wise? All the way to the left?
All right, this is Taryn Rodriguez of Sunset Rewind with Newport Harbor football coach and coach of the South, Peter Lofthouse. All right, Coach, you will be coaching your first ever All-Star football game. How much of an honor is that for you?
Well, it's an incredible offer. It speaks to the success we've had the last few years, and that success has been built on our school support from our administration to the teachers to all the equipment people and trainers who help us every single season, the coaches who've put in a lot of time and effort, and then the parents in the community who've invested a lot in this program. So for me, while it's a great individual honor, it's really a school-wide, program-wide honor for all of us, and for all the collective efforts we've had these last few years.
What's it going to be like coaching in an All-Star game on your home field with some of the best Sunset League players and with some of your guys?
Well, it's definitely a very special moment. This stadium, Davison Field, is a special place. It's a special community. The players that I've been able to coach these last few years have been with me for a long time. I've known them very closely for a long time, along with their families. The Sunset League players that I've been playing against every single season, it's finally great to actually be able to put their face to their name. You always know them as great football players, and I've always known their names from the scouting reports, but to actually get to know them on a personal level makes it even that much more special. And then when you look across the county, there's a lot of special athletes that are just part of this whole group, and it's a very unique but also very much a privilege to be a part of it.
So you've been coaching here for 5 years, right?
Yes.
What do you think you've learned the most coaching at Newport Harbor?
The most is the community. The community from not just the school, from the individual campus itself, but also the parents to the football program with all the great history here and what Tarball represents. And what many people don't realize is how close this community is. It's a very, Newport Beach seems like and Costa Mesa seem like such large, vast areas, but it's a very tight-knit community. It's a very special community. It's a lot of people are dedicated to the school and the program and what it represents. And so the community, to me, is what I've learned so much about, and that makes it also very special to be here.
Coach, thank you for your time. Congrats on the honor, and we will see you on February 4th.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, we're here with Coach Rick Feldman. He's going to be representing the North this year. Coach, I know you're familiar with your own players and the teams you coached against, but how do you actually choose players from all the Northern Division?
Well, we're luckier now than it used to be years ago, where you had to just rely on other coaches, and I don't know how they watched any film, but now everybody has a senior season highlight up there. And so we're able to look through those and narrow it down, and then finally figure out who we think are the best guys in the North to represent us and give us the best chance next Saturday.
Now you're kind of limited because you only have a couple weeks to practice. How much of your offense and defense can you actually put in that small amount of time?
You are limited in what you're allowed to do based on the All-Star rules. So you can't blitz, but you can slant a little bit, and no like real heavy packages and no motion. So it's limited. We're using our playbook. We're putting in the vanilla generic plays. Hopefully that's enough.
You've had him for over a week now. Who's the one guy that watching makes you think, man, I wish I had that guy at Cypress?
Tell you what, all those dudes playing linebacker stand out like crazy. Mason Hitchens, Wyatt Mosier, Troy Mills, Ethan Carpentier, our guy Nate that we're so glad to have Schneider, and defensive back Isaiah Dorsey from LaSalle. You know, he looked so unassuming when he came out there, and he's just a beast. He gets after it. So, and really, you want to have all these guys. That's why they're all stars, right?
Last question, probably the most important. The South has won 6 in a row. Is this the year the streak comes to an end?
This is the year the streak comes to the end, man.
Oh,
we like
you heard
our
it
guys.
first, all right.
We like our guys. They're very coachable. They practice hard. This is the year we're going to finally break through and get it done.
South, you got some bulletin board material.
Although the South is very, very good. They got a bunch of great schools representing them as well. So it's always a great game, and I'm sure it will be this year as well.
Well, listen, we appreciate you spending time with us. Best of luck. Go get them.
Thank you.
Sound check 1, 2, 3.
So.
We're good.
And welcome back, everyone, for the second half of the 63rd annual North-South Orange County High School All-Star Football Game, being brought to you by the Costa Mesa United and the Los Angeles Chargers. 21-7, the South leads. What are the keys to the game for the second half, Coach?
Well, if you're the North, score at least 15 points and hold the South to none, and then you're in good shape. Just make sure when the game's over, you got more points on the board than your opponent.
North starts the second half with the ball. Little fake handoff. Beal throws out to the Orange Lutheran receiver, Caleb Marshall. No gain on the play. Actually, looks like they lost a couple yards. Going to bring up second down and 12 from the 28 of the North.
That's a nice job by the cornerback, recognizing the play, breaking on it, and making a play in the backfield.
Receiver to the bottom of your screen, number 81, J.J. Conrad of Yorba Linda, the 6'1", 180-pound receiver. Beal takes a snap, sprints to his right, looking downfield, has a receiver open. It's completed to one. Caleb Marshall, nice catch, nice sprint, nice throw.
Yeah, that's a nice job hanging on the ball. Garrett Emerson did a really good job coming over and blasting him, knocked him out of bounds, but nonetheless caught the ball, brought it in. It's going to set up a 3rd and short for the North.
So it's going to be a pickup of about 10 yards. Ball spotted at the, make that 11 yards. Ball spotted at the 39. 3rd down 1 for the North. South had 12 on the field, but they were able to remedy that before they got a penalty. Beal fakes a handoff, goes back to Marshall, who is quickly becoming Beal's favorite receiver in this game.
Well, it looks like we got a little late hit out of bounds, and Dom Lopez and him are getting into a little bit, fired up there.
Lopez wearing number 22 for the Edison Chargers in this game. We're used to seeing him wear number 11.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of tricky because these guys get together and they bring their helmets, but they can wear any of their opponents' or teammates' stickers. So you've got these helmets just
Yeah.
littered in stickers from every school. So it's, if you can't identify them by helmet, so you got to look at that number.
It's a really cool thing too, because these kids all being seniors, most of them will keep their helmets, for the rest of their life, and that's a pretty cool thing to see all those different school stickers on there. And
Yeah, just to say you played in an all-star game. I mean,
Yeah.
Southern California. I'm sorry, if you were to take this county's top 30 teams and play the top 30 teams from another county, SoCal's winning every time.
Absolutely.
The Orange County team, and to be a part of that all-star team is something special.
So, I'm not going to point out the rules here, Coach, but if I'm not mistaken, Fernando Garcia just blitzed off the edge there.
Well, again, that's up for the referee to see, but he's playing D-line, so
Yeah.
that's okay. So, unless they're wearing a 50
stunted
front,
it,
and I don't think they can. So
He came off there pretty fast. I mean, maybe he was just unblocked. They didn't run a twist. It's just he's that athletic. He got there in a hurry.
they say every play there's penalties being committed. It's
Correct.
just whether or not it gets caught and called.
Right.
So
They say, there's holding on almost every play.
That's right.
It's tough. And you know what? While we're talking about that, we got to commend these referees. These are the best of the best referees who've been asked to do this All-Star game.
that's right. They're all-stars too.
So Beal gets his play from Coach Feldman. Coach Feldman have a shift here. Flag on the play. A little handoff. Not much there for Jacob Apodaca.
And they did a little inside end around, but it looks like the receiver was going forward as the ball was snapped, so there was a flag on the play. It looks like they're going to bring this back. Yep, they called it an illegal shift, so they're going to back it up 5 yards. And because it was a loss in the play, actually, the South is going to decline it, which will bring up, I believe, a 3rd down. Yeah, so instead of, 2nd and 14, they'd rather have 3rd and 9.
Ball spotted at the 40 of the South. Beal takes a snap. Nice pickup block by the running back, 28 there. Ball completed downfield. Nice catch.
Chase Grossfield, the pride of Los Al.
Arthur Tyler McCown of Servite there had a great block in the backfield that enabled Beal to get that ball off safely.
Yeah, I was going to say the offensive line did a really nice job. That pocket developed perfectly, giving the quarterback all the time he needed, found Grossfield down the field, and he's having a nice little game. He's had about 4 or 5 receptions so far for the North, so he's getting it done.
So first down for the North. Ball spotted at the 22 of the South. Good start to the second half for the North. Look for the slot receiver at the bottom of your screen there. That is Marshall out of Orange Lutheran. And there he is again with another catch. Breaks a tackle. And he's going to be brought down by...
And that's a nice job again by the quarterback, selling the play action, getting those linebackers to shift and honor the run. Creates that space for you and the wide receiver, and the quarterback and receiver are kind of developing a nice little relationship. He's definitely finding his favorite targets tonight. And again, the North has another good drive. They're down near the red zone. They've gotten down here twice before and came up short. So if they can finish this drive off, all of a sudden we got a 7-point ball game.
Ball going to be spotted at the 13. Going to bring up a second down and 1 for the North. Beal takes a snap. Fakes a handoff, a little misdirection there. Kind of like a
that's not
stretch
3
play.
times tonight they've run that end around, but it's just, the South is doing a really good job recognizing that and reacting. They're just not biting on the initial action. So, again, there's a reason why these guys are all-stars. They don't just fly around and do their own thing. They're playing good, sound, disciplined defense. They're staying home, which is why the North is struggling with those end-around plays.
Into the game for the North, Antonio Rex Barrera, the 6'3", 220-pound running back, pride of the Orange Lutheran Lancers.
Yeah, 6'3", 220. That's a load for a running back. I mean, when those guys hit the hole, you better get low, and you better have leverage on them, because if not, they're going to run you over every time.
They actually got him lined up in fullback here in an I formation for the North. Oh, fumble on the ground, but it's picked up by Beal. So another 4th down, 4th and 5, just like the other 2.
That was a nice job by Sarkeesian recognizing the play and preventing the game. But you're right, is Coach Feldman finally kick a field goal, or is he going to go for it again? And it looks like they are going to settle for a field goal. Interesting.
Daniel Viramontes of Catella checks into the game, the 6'1", 215-pound defensive end fullback.
And the thing is, you've got to give your kicker an opportunity. I mean, he's in the All-Star game twice. He could have, put it in. He's thinking, what the heck? So now he's going to get his opportunity.
So Matthias Brown, the Sunny Hills Lancer kicker, in, and soccer star as well. Looks like he's setting up for a field goal. It's going to be 36-yarder on the way, and is wide left. Wow.
The irony is he's an all-star kicker. He's earned that title, so we know he's good, and there's no rush. But
I'm wondering if it's gotten a little cold here.
Well, it certainly is up here, I can tell you that much. I've got multiple layers of clothing on.
The weather here in Newport Beach currently is 54 degrees.
So 3 times now the North has been in the red zone. Well, really 4. They scored the one time off the interception. So that's that's potentially 21 points off the board. They could theoretically be up 28-0 if they could finish the drives.
Awad leads the South offense onto the field for the second half, and the first carry goes to Christian Garacio of Dana Hills. He's had a nice game. Garacio has.
Nice game, nice season, nice career. I mean, he's done about all you can do. And, that guy, certain people are just shoo-ins for an all-star game.
Yeah.
And if I was going to make a list of like the top 5 guys, he'd be in that top 5.
He's automatic qualifier.
100%.
We got Riley Weinstein of Costa Mesa back in the game, the 6'9" receiver up top of your screen. Let's see if we utilize his skill set here on this drive. Awad checks what's going on with the defense, checks the wristband for the play, takes a step, fakes a handoff, and rolls out. Big hit on the play. A.J. Vandermeer hangs on to the ball, but he pays for it.
Well, Isaiah Dorsey, the outstanding safety from Los Alamitos. In fact,
boy.
we went to a couple practices, and we asked the coaches, we said, like, who's the one guy
Dorsey
that's really impressing you on this All-Star team? And they all said, oh, that guy is a hitter. I mean, really, you could put him at linebacker. He's so physical, but he just showed right there why he's so tough and physical. Came up and just laid a hit on A.J. Vandermeer, who's an outstanding and incredibly fast wide receiver.
And we had both of those young men as guests on the Sunset Rewind show.
Yeah, that's right. Dorsey, in fact, Dorsey was the first one to came in. He came in with Coach Cobley and who was the other guy?
Gavin Porch.
Yeah, Porch and Dorsey. That's right. Then we had AJ and the linebacker Tua Anuhu. They did a good job.
All four outstanding young men and great athletes. Great
By the way,
players.
if you're a senior and you're trying to get a scholarship and you're watching tonight, next Saturday at the Great Park in Irvine, they're having the California Showcase. Go to cashowcase.org. It's basically the Terry Donahue California Showcase. They're basically giving scholarships and money away. You got Division II, Division III, NAIA. They average $31,000 per kid per scholarship. Over 1,000 kids have gotten scholarship in recent years. You basically go there, and it's almost like a combine. You'll play some 7-on, you'll do some lifting, you'll do some agility drills, and they can't give these scholarships away. There's so many colleges out there that are trying to get players.
If you need more information on it, feel free to go on YouTube and check out our Sunset Rewind episode where we interviewed Coach Donahue's brother. And
he talks about the specifics, but go to cashowcase.org. You can register, and who knows, you might be getting a scholarship.
Back to the action. Awad completed pass to Hensham. Who knows we're going to spot that, though. Forward motion. They're going to give it the ball at the 30-yard line.
Coach Donahue's brother told us a funny story. A kid went to the camp, and he said he got a scholarship to the school. And the guy asked him, oh, really, where's that? The kid said, I have no idea. He basically,
but I'm going.
But I'm going, and they're paying for my college. So, what do you have to lose?
Yeah, we talked about that. This is a life-changing opportunity for some of these young men, who otherwise might not have gone to college. But not only did they get to continue their football career, they get to have the wonderful opportunity to play college football.
And for free, are you kidding me? Especially with the expensive college has gotten.
So the North defense looks like they're going to play cover 4 here. Awad checks it all out, surveys the defense, takes a snap, little inside draw, going to turn into a stretch play. What a hit.
Dorsey comes up and blows up.
Dorsey.
I don't know if that was the lineman.
Oh, my goodness.
Look at him. He is fired up.
Isaiah Dorsey, you are a dude.
Yeah, and again, we talked to 3 different coaches, and I said, who was the one guy that impressed you? And they all said Dorsey, just how physical he is. And again, back-to-back plays, he's really stepping up.
Loss of 1 on the play, too. Wow.
That's another guy I'm shocked doesn't have a scholarship offer yet. I mean, I don't care about what his size is. That guy, it's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog, and he is the epitome of that. Someone is going to get a steal with this guy because he is just a stud.
He's listed at 5'8", 180 pounds.
Yeah, well, believe me, he's pound for pound every bit the dude he seems to be.
Awad looking for Hensham, overthrows him. Ball falls to the ground, going to bring up a 3rd down and 11 for the South.
God, what a beautiful night. I don't know if you've ever been to Davison Field here at Newport Beach High School, but we're looking down on the field. To the right, we got Fashion Island all lit up. The moon's in the sky. Unless is that balloon still around, or it's a full moon or a balloon? I don't know which, but
well, it's been an interesting week, hasn't it?
Yeah, sure has. But anyway, yeah, that's the moon.
3rd down and 11 from the 29 of the South. Awad with his Edison Charger teammate Carter Hogue in the backfield with him. Hogue drops out to the left, looking for Hensham again. Ball's going to fall to the ground, going to bring up 4th down. Punting situation. Sorry, that wasn't intended for Hensham. That was
Drew Faulkner, the defensive back from Western, did a good job breaking on the ball, and he's a first-team all-purpose yards, 750 yards for Western High School, 105 receptions. But they haven't played corner, and I understand why. He's certainly fast and
playing for Coach Danny Davidson over there at Western.
In fact, he did the All-Star game a couple years ago against De Palma from Catella.
We coached Danny Davidson's son, Jeremy.
That's right.
So, punting situation for the South. Mr. Coffee into punt from Huntington Beach. Judd Othman. Left-footed punter kicks it away and is going to be caught, or not quite caught. Falls between the hands of J.J. Conrad of Yorba Linda. And the referee is going to spot it at the 33, where the North will set up shop offensively. .3:19 remaining in the third quarter. South 21, North 7 at the 63rd annual North-South Orange County All-Star Game, brought to you by the Costa Mesa United and your Los Angeles Chargers. Taryn Rodriguez is a big Los Angeles Chargers fan. Nice route, nice pass there by Lunsberg of Canyon, complete to J.J. Conrad of Yorba Linda. Little speed out route. Going to be good for a pickup of about 6 yards.
J.J. Conrad, another 1,000-yard receiver this year, had 10 touchdowns. Of course, was part of that CIF championship team. 2-time All-Crestview League player. So, you know, he had a nice career. And, boy, winning a CIF championship your senior year, is there any better way to go out?
Absolutely not. What a special run for that Jeff Bailey.
Well, remember, Yorba Linda last year went 10-0, and then because of the new CIF format, they had to go on the road to, I want to say, Bishop Amont and lost. It's like, when's the last time a team went 10-0 but then lost in the first round? But with that new format, it didn't matter. But they made amends this year because, you know, I thought that team last year was outstanding, and fortunately they came back and won it all because I thought they got short-ended a couple years ago.
Lunsberg out to Conrad. We're going to have a penalty on there. It looks like DeMarco Love of Tesoro was a little late there.
Yeah, Caleb Marshall, another orange blue wide receiver.
Back to Yorba Linda. You realize that was Jeff Bailey's, I believe, 4th CIF title. He won 2 at El Dorado as well.
Yeah, he's had a nice little career. Former UCLA Bruin.
UCLA Bruin. We've seen him at some UCLA games.
We have
him in the
in
alumni
the
tent. Yeah.
Him and Troy Aikman were sitting together when they had that Terry Donahue pavilion.
He's pretty good friends with Coach Feldman of the North. In fact,
well, Yorba Linda used to be in our league.
Right.
They were in the Empire League for a couple years.
Little side story. I did not know this, but Coach Feldman told me that at the Cypress Boys and Girls Club there was a barbecue a couple weeks ago, and apparently Coach Jeff Bailey of Yorba Linda is a pit master, a grill master. Coach Feldman said the barbecue he made and the brisket and the ribs was like out of this world.
No, he goes to those high-end competitions where they're there the night before setting up.
He's competing. Yeah.
So he's getting it done out in the field as a coach and in the pits.
So North has the ball on the 33 of the South. Lunsberg takes a snap. Handoff. Going to get some more yards. Fernando Garcia, one of the South tacklers there of Fountain Valley.
You know, it's interesting because the South really seems like they've dominated the game. But here we are again with the North kind of getting down in that red zone. And they're not quite red zone yet, obviously, but they're threatening. And again, if they can get a touchdown here, a game that's really been controlled by the South, all of a sudden, you know, it's a toss-up. So a big drive for the North. You know, they've got to take advantage at some point of these opportunities they're getting. They're just not finishing their drives.
Yeah, we've yet to have any scoring in the second half so far, and we're looking at 2:20 left in the third quarter. Lunsberg, nice little draw play there, or zone right to Owen Smith at El Medina, the 5'9", 193-pound running back / linebacker.
Brought down by your man, Fernando Garcia, 6'6", 230 out of Fountain Valley. Did a good job getting off the block of the guard and making a play.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Wow, you talk about undercutting a route. Great job there. Intercepted. Colin Post, playing at his home stadium, just undercut that route. Lunsberg released the ball, and Post was right there.
Well, Colin did a great job. I mean, you could see it from up here evolving. He really had good position on the out route, and, you know, CDM had a great trio of linebackers this year. You had Post and Kubicek, and of course I'm missing the other guy, but he was a part of a great Sea-King team, and he's another senior that's going to be missed. I know Coach Heddig's got lower levels that are stepping up and going to have a great career, but he'll definitely be a person that the CDM Nation is going to miss.
How about the kids who have or play at this stadium normally having a great night? The Sailors and the Sea Kings.
Yeah, I don't know how much home field advantage plays into it in a game like this, but they're certainly feeling comfortable in executing. No doubt about that.
Little out route to A.J. Vandermeer at Huntington Beach. Nice play design there. Trey Kuka of Capo Valley back in the game at quarterback.
We saw A.J. play a couple times, and I thought he was a phenomenal receiver. He was first team all.
So fast.
Sunset League, his speed, he's a track guy. The one stat that he had this year that stood out to me more than anything else is he averaged 20 yards per reception.
Wow.
Which means he's making big play after big play. And a lot of those were little bubble routes, but he was so fast, you just break it. So he's one of those guys, if you can get him the ball in space, he's going to make a big play.
Bottom of your screen is Bockler of San Juan Hills and Hensham, Newport Harbor. Little handout. There's Carter Hogue, who has some speed. Gets into some open field, and only Dorsey can stop him from scoring as he knocks him out of bounds. But Carter Hogue showing up to the party.
One of the big questions Edison had this year after losing Troy Fletcher, their outstanding running back the previous year, was who's going to fill those big shoes. I thought Carter Hogue did an outstanding job because he's not only effective running the ball, but he did a lot of damage catching the ball as well out of the backfield. I mean, he's a great athlete. And again, Arizona Christian just found a diamond in the rough. They're really they made a good call on that one.
You're getting a special kid, Arizona Christian.
And we got to know his whole family. They're heavily involved, and just a great group overall.
Speaking of which, talking to their family before the game, they asked if we could say hi to Christine and Brian Levin in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, who are listening.
Nice.
So they got family in South Carolina listening to Carter playing this game tonight. So we just want to say thank you for joining us. Hope everything's great in South Carolina, and hope you're enjoying the game.
Well, speaking of Carter, he did a nice job filling up in the middle there, allowing Kukuk to get outside the pocket, pick some yards there on that QB scramble.
He's a complete football player. He's a great teammate. He'll block for his teammates, and he's not afraid to step up and take on a linebacker to protect his quarterback.
Remember, he played a lot of safety too. So again, he's we know Jackson Irvin's Mr. Everything, but I would say Hogue's a close second in terms of versatility and all the things he can do.
So let's look at this slot receiver here. That's Braden Bockler, the tight end of San Juan Hills, 6'3", 240. Let's see if we get a little jump ball going to him. But up top, once again, you got the other big guy, 6'9", receiver from Costa Mesa, Riley Weinstein. Three seconds remaining in the third quarter.
And he went out of bounds, so they are going to stop the clock. They'll get one more play before the end of the quarter. And then I got a little, if you like rumors and gossip, I want you to turn the volume up here after this play because I got a good one for you.
I just got texted by an old dear friend of mine, Kevin Lorton. He says, asked if this was us up in the box here, and he says, yeah. I said, yeah. He texted me back, said, Vincent Cabral of El Dorado, the offensive tackle, 6'3", 275, is Kevin Lorton's cousin. So a lot of family connections here. Oh, Carter Hogue is wrapped up and wrestled down. Number 25, Jalen Lightfoot of Orange.
Yes.
5'11", 180 DB.
Gordon's grandson, right?
So, end of three quarters, 21-7, still South, leading the North.
So here's the rumor mill, hot off the press. And I can't say it's a rumor because I got a sheet in front of me, but as you may or may not know, every 4 years all the principals get together and they do a re-leaguing. And sometimes they make wholesale changes, sometimes it's a nothing burger. But they come to the meeting with all their proposals and they kind of vote on it.
Wait, hang on a second. A nothing burger?
Well, when nothing changes. Oh, is that a political thing?
No, I like how you phrase that. That's funny.
Okay, well, the latest proposal is this. So as you may or may not know, the Sunset League currently has Huntington Beach, Fountain Valley, Los Alamitos, Edison, Corona del Mar, and Newport Harbor.
Right.
The proposal
For
that's
football.
getting a lot of traction is they're going to take out Huntington Beach and Fountain Valley.
Okay.
They're going to turn it into a super conference and add Mission Viejo. Yorba Linda, San Clemente, Cypress, El Medina, Villa Park,
Wow.
San Juan Hills, and Foothill. You would, in effect, have a super conference. Those teams are basically the top 15 teams in the county consistently year after year.
How are you going to travel?
By bus, I guess. That's the least of their problems. You know, sometimes in league you get that quote-unquote free space on a bingo board. In this new league proposal, there are no freebies.
Ethan Smithlin of Costa Mesa on for the field goal. And he is good from about 35 yards. Adds 3 points to the South total. First points in the second half. We have 11:56 remaining in the ball game. South 24, North 7.
But getting back to that league, you know, I'd be curious to see what some of the coaches. I'm sure all these teams are ringers in their leagues, and those other teams wouldn't miss them. So you know they're going to vote to make this happen.
Right.
And, boy, selfishly as a fan, I mean, you talk about great games week after week, but, again, there is no rest. There is nowhere to hide.
Now they divided it in 2 divisions, correct?
Correct. And basically, it's kind of like how Premier Soccer, if you're in the top 4, you go up, the bottom 4 go down.
So who would be in the top 6?
It probably, it goes off the previous year or the previous 2 years. So you know,
nothing
they have to work all that
solidified
out. Nothing's solidified. It hasn't been voted on yet, but it seems to be getting a lot of steam. And again, it's
gathering some traction.
Stay tuned, because that'd be real interesting. Boy, talk about Sunset Rewind blowing up at that point.
That would actually be great. Back to the action here. Pass by Ryan Beal of Yorba Linda. Looks like it was intended for Jacob Apodaca, the talented wide receiver out of La Habra. Bring up 2nd down and 10 from the 30-yard line of the North. So, Coach, it's 4th quarter, and I don't want to make any predictions yet, but you know who you think is the MVP yet? I know I've got the MVP as right now.
Cash Money Hingem's had a nice game.
Yep.
He's the one that stands out to me. There's still full quarter football to go, so let's not give him the title just yet or the award. But right now, I think he'd be the leading contender.
Slot receiver into the game, number 23 from Orange is Jonathan Smith Jr., the 6'3", 185-pound receiver for the Panthers.
By the way, shout out to the ladies. CIF made it official today. Girls flag football is coming this fall. It is going to be an officially sanctioned CIF sport. And don't be surprised if in a couple years they have a North-South All-Star game, because it's going to gain a lot of traction. In fact, right now, NAIA schools there's 14 NAIA schools who offer scholarships for flag football.
Wow.
So now with CIF making that an official sport, that's
awesome.
just going to grow. So a lot of opportunities for those ladies out there. We've been to a couple of those games. I remember at Cypress, Admin threatened to ban them a couple times because it got so chippy. So believe me, if you like physical, tough football, those girls get after it. And I'm really looking forward to watching some of those games next year. Maybe we can do something with Sunset Rewind with them.
Little screenplay here. Oh, bottled up nicely. That was Brady Sarkeesian of Corona Del Mar.
No.
Johnny on the spot, the 6'1", 225-pound middle linebacker, son of Steve Sarkeesian, the University of Texas coach. So North on to punt again. Matthias Brown also has the punting duties from Sunny Hills. Hey, look at that. Carson Diavolo back to return
too bad
the
they
punt.
can't return the ball.
Saw him play some running back this year, too.
You know, those guys have a very special relationship. He might get a penalty.
No, he just spotted.
Yeah. I mean, those two go back to, quick story. The freshman team that are now seniors at Newport Harbor, there's about 25 of them seniors real close, and they used to ride all their bikes to practices their freshman year. And Coach Steele, the weight train guy, said they all look like the Goonies, and so they kind of took on that name. They've all been best of friends ever since, and you know the families kind of grew up together, and it was a real special group. And they're the Goonies, and
you do a really good Chung impersonation, or
Candy.
Well, folks, where else but Sunset
By the way, who
Rewind
played that sloth in the movie? Do you know?
Oh, sloth. Whoa.
It was a former Raider.
Oh, John Matuzak.
John Matuzak, that's right. That was Sloth.
Handoff. That looked like a rugby scrum there.
That's when you get on that 7-man sled and just drive it play after play after play.
Simeon Malava from Santa Margarita Catholic thought he had the ball there, having some fun out there. It's good to see these kids, enjoying this game, regardless of the score, just out there having fun.
Well, again, it's one last chance to put the pads on, to hit another opponent. And again, I said this earlier, this is the last time some of these guys are ever going to play, and it's, it's a celebration of a fantastic career, certainly a fantastic senior year, and, to be recognized as one of the best in the best region of football, it's something to be proud of.
So Riley Weinstein, 6'9", is being covered right now by Quincy Hankins of Tustin, who's 5'10". You talk about the jump ball. Look at this, Coach.
Boy, I just saw that. You're right. I don't know if they put audibles in, but
boy.
Right now I'm calling a go route because that's definitely a matchup that's got to favor the South just in terms of tail of the tape.
Hankins, the talented cornerback, Tustin Tiller, who's 5'10", 165, going up against Riley Weinstein, 6'9", 215.
Well, we're sitting next to the Newport Mustang coaches in the box up here. They've got to see what we see.
Simple cover 4 coverage for the North squad. And here we go. He's going for him. Adjust. What a catch.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. Riley Weinstein, Costa Mesa.
Well, that was the matchup they wanted, though. Ironically, the corner sat, and I guess he was in kind of his own coverage. It was the safety that ended up being the one-on-one matchup. But regardless, brought the ball down. Outstanding job. And, yeah, 6'9", 215. That's
Mustang pride.
That's a favorable matchup.
Gonna spot the ball at the 33 of the North. Awad back into the game. The talented Edison quarterback. In the backfield, he has Christian Garasio of Dana Hills with him. Little run play to Garasio. Your other receivers are Benedicts from Capo Valley and Henjum from Newport Harbor. We also have the talented Elisa Miguel tight end in the game.
Talk about Riley Weinstein, Costa Mesa, 2 times first team all-league. Actually got an offer from Benedictine.
All right.
Now, do you know where that is?
Benedictine, Connecticut?
Starts with a K.
Kentucky.
Kansas.
Oh.
I believe, because we were just talking about that at halftime, right? I didn't know that. But, Benedictine's done a really good job poaching some South County players because we got about 4 or 5 players playing tonight that will be going there.
Yeah, they seem to have recruited Southern California well.
You wonder if one of those coaches is from SoCal and is telling the guys, listen, this is where you want to go to get some athletes because I'm telling you, they're going to get some steals. In a small school like that, grabbing some Orange County All-Stars, those are going to be difference makers, and that's going to take a school like Benedictine to that next level.
Put them on the map.
I mean, you're telling me a guy like Dorsey couldn't play there, or a Watt, or these guys we've been talking about all night long.
Every single one of them, yeah.
Watch some film because you've got some studs out here.
Carter Hogue in the backfield with his Edison Charger teammate Parker Watt. Checking the offensive coach Lofthouse. Watt looks to throw, steps up in the pocket nicely. Has a little out route to Benedict's Capo Valley, who has some room to run from him. And, of course, tackled by Isaiah Dorsey.
No surprise there. One of the things, we were talking to Coach Lofthouse before the game, and he said the one thing that really impressed him about these players is just how well they picked up the offense. Because you have such a small amount of time to put in a scheme. He said, I had players that couldn't figure our offense out by week 12, and these guys had picked it up in 2 weeks. So, one of the reasons they're such great athletes is not just their physical and athletic abilities, but it's their football smartness in the terms of how to pick plays up, remember them, and execute them.
Well, you talked about how this is the best high school football in the nation. Let's give a shout out to all the coaches out there. Look how well these kids are coached at these various high schools. There are a lot of great coaches
That's part
here.
of the formula. I mean, it's not just great athletes, it's great coaching, and pick that up after this play.
Awad back to Benedict's at Capo Valley, and he's met by a host of northern defenders.
And, obviously we're biased, but literally, if you took the top 30 teams from Orange County, you tell me another county in the country whose top 30 teams, if somehow you were able to make a round robin tournament, could keep up. They just couldn't.
Couldn't.
In fact, Telesco, the Chargers general manager, talked about that at the banquet. Now,
Absolutely.
he's a GM. He goes all over the country and scouts college and high school players, and he
recognizes talent better than anybody.
That's his job
Yeah,
for a pro team.
exactly.
And he said the exact same thing. So you might think we're being biased, but if it's good enough for a pro scout, then it's certainly good enough for us. And he's 100. All he did was verify something we've always believed.
Parker Awad on a design quarterback keep. Going to be a penalty, maybe a late hit perhaps. Let's see what the referees say. 6:39 remaining in the 63rd annual North-South Orange County All-Star Game. Brought to you by Costa Mesa United and the Los Angeles Chargers. The South leads 24-7. How about that crew we got tonight, Coach? The Newport Harbor.
Well, if John Hoyt and these kids, and I
John
want you to give
Hoyt,
a shout out,
wonderful job.
don't come,
We're not here.
we're not watching the game. It's that simple.
William
Unless you came to the
Delaney,
game.
William Delaney, Gia Proteta, Macy Williamson, Pathan Zamora, Emily Cohen, Peaches Kulik, and Wesley Kaiser. Thank you so much.
So he brought a full crew with him.
What a great crew. These
Now
kids
John's
have a
behind me. Let me
career.
see. John, are you guys getting extra credit for this or bonus points?
You guys have a future in broadcasting, that's for sure. You guys do a great job.
Do you guys use Aries for your grades? Okay, well, I'm going to hack into it and make sure you guys get extra credit. Whatever your system is, tell me. I can do that. All right, good job, guys. Thank you.
Pass complete again there to Riley Weinstein of Costa Mesa. Wonder if he plays basketball too.
Well, he certainly has the height for it.
3-by-1 formation. Weinstein down to the bottom by himself. Coach, look for a jump ball here again. They have that favorable matchup again.
Well, it's third and forever, so you better not get beat deep if you're the North. I mean, that's the one thing
Yeah.
you can't give up, 20 yards. And, you know, I get it. You're not going to – although maybe does the kicker have range? He's an all-star kicker. Well, it doesn't matter now.
Awad being chased. Brought down after he gets the ball away. I don't know. There's no penalty called there.
And then again, that's Isaiah Dorsey coming over and making the tackle.
Adam Harper was in the game for the South, the Northwood Timberwolf. 5'11", 195.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was third down. You're right. Now you give your kicker a chance.
All right. So the ball is spotted at the 27. I make that about a 44-yard field goal.
Timeout on the field. You know, one of the things we were kind of shocked by is how many quality athletes aren't getting scholarship offers, and we've talked to a lot of people about it, and one of the things they got to understand is because of the transfer portal, a lot of these schools, well, let's take SC, for example, had an outstanding offense, but really the last couple of years it's the defense that's hurt them. So if you got a guy from Bama, Georgia, Michigan who goes in the transfer portal, SC are going to grab those defenders first, right? Then you go the JUCO college route. Then you're getting the five-star guys. It's just this transfer portal is kind of, it's another layer of players that you're taking away from these high schoolers before you actually get down to the high school level. And so the beneficiary of these are the Division II, the Division III, the NAIA schools, because you've got solid players who maybe back in the day might have been going D1, but because of the transfer portal, and remember there was an extra fifth year of COVID of eligibility,
Right,
so that took up a lot of scholarship space.
And there's only a limited amount of scholarships available.
Exactly. So because of that, you're seeing a lot of top athletes that would have in the past gotten a scholarship not get one, or they're getting it to a smaller school.
Awad, just a little swing play to the Northwood running back, Adam Harper, who takes a big hit but just goes up and over with the defender. Got to admire that kid's bravado there.
Yeah, Harper, another outstanding athlete. And you know, Watt is so cool in collecting the puck. Just does that little swing, pat, no big deal, and lets his money back, do the rest.
I can't wait to watch him play college no matter where it is, and he is going to play somewhere. And as we've said all season long, he is going to help a college program so much. That coach is going to feel like he won the lottery when he sees that kid play quarterback.
Well, stay tuned. I mean, I think there's a lot of coaches watching tonight's game, and, you know, there's still a couple things to shake out. So the story isn't done for all these guys. And, again, go to that showcase next week. If you're a senior and you haven't gotten a scholarship yet, there's a lot of money being given away next weekend at the Great Park in Irvine. So go to that website, check it out, register, and you might be walking away with a lot of money.
Down to 5 minutes left in this All-Star game. Great evening here in Newport Beach. You can't beat this. What a great venue for football. So, the North takes over deep in their own territory. Ball spot at their 10-yard line. Oh, we're going to have a great coverage sack there. Number 47 for the South. That is Owen Burnside, the 6'2", 212-pound defensive end.
Yeah, there's a reason why he was 2 times All South Coast League player. Did a great job getting off the block and picking up a sack.
Lundsberg is back in the game at quarterback for the North. Hey, Coach, about that time of the broadcast where you give a shout-out to the big guys up front, the old linemen.
Yeah, you know, we talk so much about the skill guys because they're the ones that the ball's going to, but really at the end of the day, what good is a running back without a hole to run through? What good is a quarterback if he's throwing on his back? So it's because of the offensive linemen that allow these players to do the things they do. So big shout out to those big hogs. And, you know, a couple of those Mission Viejo guys, one's going to Drake, one's going to USD. So they're getting scholarships too in that position.
Yeah, I saw them in signing day the other day. Signing day is always such an exciting day. And you go through all the schools and you see all those kids that are signing their national letters of intent to play college football or any college sport for that matter.
Let's talk Matt Minna from Fountain Valley guy, the big offensive tackle,
Yeah.
6'4", 280. Benedictine offered him.
Number 74.
Yeah, University of San Diego for Mission Viejo, Cody's going. And then Brady Norton, another Mission Viejo lineman, 6'5", 280. Looks like he's going to Drake. So big props to those linemen because that's a heck of an honor to get a scholarship. And, you know, I know they don't get all the pub or the hype. You don't really read about them in the paper. But I can tell you as a coach, they're so invaluable and they play such a critical role in terms of what you're trying to do offensively.
Got some other great athletes in here. Inoki Samita from Orange Lutheran. And Don Lijafatoli from Tustin, obviously. Oh, what a catch. Oh, my goodness. That was incredible. Chase Grossfield catches a
I'll
dart.
tell you what, right now I think Hinjam's the odds-on favorite to get MVP, but Grossfield's had if there was a second, I'm probably putting him second on my ballot because he's had a nice little night. He's made some great catches. He's been consistent. That was an outstanding grab right there. And again, when you think about Los Al, all the great players that he had this year, he kind of got lost in that mix, but you're seeing right now why he was a first-team All-Sunset League wide receiver.
And I'll tell you what, if there was a team MVP for the North right now, I'd probably go with Dorsey.
Well, yeah, he's definitely bringing the wood tonight. He is hitting.
Yeah. So split out to the bottom of your screen is number 81, J.J. Conrad of Yorba Linda, CIF champion. Got a little swing by the La Habra receiver, Apodaca. However, Lundsberg elects not to throw and slides in for a gain of a couple yards there.
You know, 2 minutes left. This isn't the CIF championship game. You don't get cute. You know, you had a great game. You want to get to this game. You want to be healthy. So that was the right decision.
It's going to bring up second down, and let's call it 4 at the 48 of the, the 42 of the North. Snap is dropped by Lundsberg. Kind of just releases the ball. Oh, it's almost reeled in by Conrad. So Lundsberg had a little trouble with the snap.
Boy, I'll tell you what, he almost got lucky there because sometimes on those broken plays, the defenders lose the receivers because they're kind of watching the fumble in the backfield, but did a good job recovering the ball and, you know, just a couple inches away of possibly getting a late touchdown here.
Colin Post has been all over the field this entire evening.
Yeah, I think Post, Sarkeesian,
Got
Kubicek. I mean, they really did have a great linebacking core at CDM this year.
Kyle Yamano from San Clemente is into the game right now, the 6'1", 220 middle linebacker for the Tritons. Lundberg throws a little out pass. Speed out. Looks like that was Jonathan Smith Jr. from Orange.
Stop the clock, so the North's making one last ditch effort to get in the end zone as the game winds down, make it a little more respectable on the scoreboard. Obviously not going to win the game, but 24-14 looks a lot better than 24-7.
Clock is winding. Got a minute 17 left in this 63rd annual North-South Orange County High School All-Star Game, being brought to you through the generosity of the Costa Mesa United and the Los Angeles Chargers. So here we go. Let's see what Coach Feldman has dialed up in this 3-by-1 formation. Lundberg is looking to go deep, well covered downfield, and he's going to get sacked. Colin Post had him. Got the ball away, and there's going to be no grounding there. But, man, Colin Post once again right there.
Yeah, he's been a force all night, but nice job by the quarterback scrambling, buying time, but just couldn't get anybody open downfield. And you're right, that definitely could have been a grounding call, but I think at this point the refs are just going to let him play it out. But, yeah, Post again exerting his presence on the field.
46 seconds left. Second down and 10. Ball is spotted at the 44 of the South. North trying to hit Pater one more time here tonight. 3-by-1 set. Marshall of Orange Lutheran, Smith of Orange, and Conrad of Yorba Linda. Up top, you have Grossfield still in from Los Alamitos. 42 seconds remaining in this classic. Crowd has remained here the whole time, Coach. It's pretty.
No,
pretty
it's
cool.
been packed on both ends. I'm quite impressed. The last time I saw the stadium this packed was the Battle of the Bay.
Yep.
Now that was rocking that night.
That
This
was,
crowd's a little more subdued and behaved, but man, that was a fun experience. Of course, Battle of the Bay is Newport Harbor and Corona del Mar, the big rival game.
Lundberg looking deep, looking for Grossfeld, overthrows him.
So this will be the last gasp for the North at 4th and 10. They got to get a first down here, or South will just take a knee and make this official.
And we wish all the student athletes on the field tonight in their next event endeavor, whatever that may be.
37 seconds remaining in the ball game. 24-7, the South leads.
And of course, Coach Feldman's going to call a timeout.
You know what?
Don't change the channel just yet.
Here comes the trick play.
Oh, it may as well, right? Why not?
Yeah, this is the trick play, I'm telling you.
I like
the
thinking.
This is it. Right now he's in that huddle. You and I have been in a million huddles with him. He's all right, guys, let's just have some fun. This is what we're going to do. Here's the razzle-dazzle. And, why not? 37 seconds left.
Hey, we still have 187 watching. That's not bad, right?
Yeah.
From all over the country.
Any sign of green boxes, Bryce T. Sawyer or Tommy Carr?
Yeah, let's go to the
Lofthouse
comment
meeting
section.
with his defense here. I know you imagine Lofthouse is going to tell the guys, everybody back, play that umbrella D, nothing behind you. And this is just for like coaching bragging rights right now. Feldman somehow scores here.
We got a lot of names in the chat that we haven't seen before. That's great.
All right. So 4th and 10 for the North. Ball spotted at the 44 of the South. Let's see if we got some razzle-dazzle here, Coach. Oh, nope, just a little slip screen. Lunsberg barely able to get the ball away as he was under a lot of pressure there from number 47, Owen Burnside of Tesoro. So that is a turnover on downs. It's all academic. Now, Coach, South with 30 seconds left has to snap the ball and take a knee.
So
the
the
greatest
South
formation in football.
Victory formation is going to win their 8th straight. That's now 13 out of 14. I don't know what they put in the water down here, but the South seems to be getting it done lately. The overall record will now go to the South. They're going to be 34 and 26. There were 3 ties throughout the history of this game, but congratulations to Coach Lofthouse, his staff, and to the North, too, for that matter, Coach Feldman and his staff, and the players. What an honor to be in this game. I thought it was a clean game. I thought all the players played hard, and every single person on this team should be proud because they represent the best athletes in the best region of the country.
This was a win-win for the players, the coaches, the fans, and everybody associated with this game. So it's been an honor and a privilege to bring the 63rd annual North-South Orange County All-Star Game to you, brought to you by the Costa Mesa United as well as the Los Angeles Chargers. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Hope everything is good in your world. Stay safe and God bless you.